today I'm ignoring the heroic Harley in all its fine splendor, because today I'm heading out in the pickup truck. Okay. Hi, welcome to RevelatorAlf. I hope you're all well. So today's video is not about Harley Davidsons and motorcycles in general, but most of my channel is about that, of course. Actually, today is about me and my pickup truck and why I like it. And this is why I think everybody who owns a motorcycle also needs a pickup truck. And I've got a Ford Ranger Wildtrak, but I'm going to get down the road and tell you why I bought it and also why I love it so much. Well, I'm on the road in the presumptuous, the precarious, the any other P word you can think of, the prattish pickup truck. We call them pickup trucks or pickups over here. I know elsewhere people call them trucks. But anyway, all the way through in Australia, a ute, maybe, a ute. But I always liked utility vehicles. It's ute, right? I always like utility vehicles, whether it's pickup trucks or vans or lorries or anything like that. Anything that's got a diesel engine I always loved as well, weirdly enough. So I mean, I suppose I grew up on a farm, come from a farming background, so anything that's agricultural I like. Maybe that's why I like Harley Davidsons, I don't know. But anyway, so I always liked pickup trucks, and purely and simply because they're a utility vehicle, and not that I'm always carrying a load of stuff in the back, let's say for work or anything like that, but I do carry stuff from time to time, whether it's bike parts, stuff for the house, parts for the camper, whatever it is, whether I need to go anywhere and just throw a load of stuff in the back, it's great. Oh, by the way, the reason I got these AirPods in is hopefully the sound will come through a little bit better on these, rather than this kind of road noise that you might be hearing. Yeah, so I got this pickup in 2019. I think Ford Rangers are, if not the most popular pickup in the UK, one of the most popular. I always liked them. But I actually did quite a bit of research on these before I bought them, and I kind of looked at a load of different pickups, and I was looking at Nissans, I was looking at Toyotas. Toyota Hilux is probably another really popular brand here in the UK, and they are great. They are really great pickup trucks as well. There are a few others that were really good as well. But I sort of asked around quite a few sort of workmen that I know who also drive in Ford Rangers, and I noticed that quite a few sort of road workers were using them as well. So I just went up to them and asked them, I said, you know, how does it compare? And they said they're kind of faultless. They just keep on going. They do what they're supposed to do, and also they're great for towing as well. Now, at the time when I bought this, say 2019, there were 2 or 3 different versions, and they're also changing the engine and gearbox. So this is a 2-litre twin turbo, but it's got a 10-speed automatic gearbox. And I think this was the first year that this came in, and I sometimes feel it's a little bit labouring, it's a little bit slow in going up through the gears. You know, I think there's a 3.5 or 3.6 litre, or 3.2, isn't it, litre previous version, and I could have got that really, and I sometimes think should have gone for that. But I've got to say, apart from a few little niggles here and there, which the dealership sorted out, it's been absolutely fine. When I ordered this from the dealer as well, I made sure that it was never a consideration. It was always going to be that I'd have the canopy at the back, and it had to be a proper lockable canopy as well. There are different versions I could have gone for, but you know, it had to be locked, so I went for the one that I eventually did. And I can't remember the actual name of it, but it's one of the approved ones, and it's GSE or something on the side. But anyway, the reason is, I'm not sure if this is the same in other countries, but I think you can't really trust to leave anything in an open vehicle here in the UK. It'll just get swiped. You know, you just can't go anywhere and just leave some items in the back. It'll just get swiped. So for me, for security point of view, just for peace of mind as well, it was a case of just throwing stuff in there. So it kind of limits what I can load in the back. So I can't load, let's say, a bike, and that has become a bit of a problem a couple of times when I want to go and buy, let's say, a motocrosser or something like that, or a trail bike. If I had an open canopy or an open back, open bed, I could have just loaded it on there, whereas that I can't. So I either need a rack, which I've bought for the back, or a trailer, which is probably the best thing to do. But apart from that, it's been absolutely great. Throw stuff in there, peace of mind, it's locked, never a thought really. So I'll say, if you're ever going to get one of these, you sacrifice, you know, loading the big things in the back, but just, you know, have a trailer. And that's why this vehicle has got, I think it's 3.5 ton towing capacity. But there's another version, which is the Raptor, which is more like the sportier, kind of off-roady, looks really cool version. Actually, its towing capacity is really low. And I think one of the reasons is the way the suspension is set up on that. It just can't handle towing. But this is meant for towing. So it's a proper utility, proper off-road vehicle as well. And I've taken it off-road loads of places, and it's been brilliant as well. So it's probably not the most powerful pickup. It's probably not the most quick responsive when you're driving it, but it is actually very smooth. And as I say, it's been faultless for me. Yeah, most of the time I'm driving on roads, but I do go off-road quite a bit on these things. Not, you know, sort of competition off-road, just normal farm tracks and going around the farm. Got a farm as well, so that is one of the things that is beneficial. But also I've had to use it for towing heavy things as well, heavy loads. So I have used it, although I just don't do it on a daily basis, of course. Now, if you watch my channel, I'm always going on about black bikes. I love black as the only colour really, and it is, and my favourite colour is black. In all sorts of things, whether it's clothing, whether it's you know, bikes, cars, anything like that. I'm not a car person, I'm a utility vehicle person, so it's got to be a van or a pickup or a 4x4. My last car, or my last vehicle, was a Jeep Cherokee 4x4. I had that for 15 years, great car, and that was black. The only problem with it is just keeping it nice, and the scratches on it just, you know, they show up too much, especially on a utility vehicle. So that's why I went for this colour, that would hide those kind of wear and tear scratches, and it does. If it was a black car, it just would have shown everything up, it would look horrible. Whereas this, it kind of still looks like new, especially when I wash it. Well, I can be bothered to wash it, that is. Right, so anyway, I'm on my way to the farm today. Got a few things to do. Things I don't normally talk about really on my channel, so it's more of a motorcycle channel. But say, if you've got a motorcycle, then I would always say, actually, one of the vehicles that you want is a pickup truck, if it suits your way of life, of course, or a van, especially if you've got like trail bikes or motocross bikes and stuff like that. Having a trailer or having a van that you can just load stuff into is so much better than just a car. But say, it really depends whether you're going to use it on a daily basis. For me, I do. I know a lot of people wouldn't. This kind of does about 30 miles to the gallon as well, so it's not crazy efficient, but it's you know, it's pretty good really, and it's a relatively new vehicle. Because I ride my bike most of the time, it's hardly got any miles on it either, so it's you know, it's a great vehicle just to keep for the long term as well. Right, let me get to the other end, and I'll sort of show you around a little bit, and well, let's do a bit of off-road, shall we? Right, I'm pulling over here to go to one of my favourite lookout places I thought I'd bring you along for a ride. Beautiful views. It's lovely. A bit wet on the road this morning, but anyway, going under a few trees now. A bit dark, but anyway, beautiful views. Just wait until you see this, and I'll show you around the pickup as well. Ah, what a lovely view that is. If only you could really see it, because it's a horrible overcast day. But it's really nice on a bright sunny day. Lovely. Anyway, look, let's show you around the pickup, shall we? Bi-turbo. Oh yeah. There you go. It's an Alpha GSE. That's the lid. What I've always liked about their pickups as well, with this particular type, with a canopy, is that it's separate as well. Everything here is completely separate from there. Other cars I've had in the past, even my 4x4, if I had stuff in the boot, everything could just fly forward if I was going off somewhere, or if I had a crash or something like that. And luckily I never did. But with this, it's all self-contained, so I can just throw stuff in there. But this bit in here, with myself, the family, the dog, all safe in there. But everything there, that's all secure as well. Right, it's starting to rain again. Yeah, lovely view. I wish. And yeah, best to get back on the road. Let's get to the farm and put this through its paces a little bit, just a little bit. Right, let's do some off-road, shall we? Now, in truth, as I say, I don't use this for competition off-roading. Let's go off-road. No, none of that. It's just farm tracks and doing what a 4x4 utility vehicle is supposed to be used for, I suppose. In, you know, just getting off the beaten track a little bit. There we go. Right, cool. It's windy out here. I'll tell you what's interesting about this pickup truck. I wouldn't say regular calls or emails, but you know, from the manufacturer or the dealership saying, okay, do I want to upgrade? Do I want to change it? There's a new commercial vehicle that I could, you know, go and buy and all that sort of stuff. And I think, well, it's what, 4 years old now, and but it's hardly got any miles on it, and it still runs perfectly well, so why would I want another one? Would I buy the same one again? I said the only thing is probably the engine and the gearbox combination it's just a little bit weird on the automatic transmission. It's a bit weird on this one, but it just takes some getting used to, but overall it's absolutely fine. The colour I chose because it hides all the scratches really, and any signs of old age, but it's still, you know, well, as you can see, it still looks pretty good. I like the canopy on the back. I wouldn't have it any other way. Would I have another pickup truck in the future? Yeah. And you know, my other half, she said, why don't you just get a 4x4? I said, well, I prefer that for a start, and I prefer that it's got the separate back, and I can have it as a, you know, a proper utility vehicle. Whereas my old 4x4, even though it was a Jeep, I didn't really feel it was utility enough. And when I say that, I mean like throwing tools and big items in the back. I actually wanted a separate compartment. But overall, it's great. It's got road tyres on, you know. It's in two-wheel drive right now. Actually, most off-road vehicles, even bikes, you go off-road on them, in most cases, as long as it's not really wet or on any kind of hill, two-wheel drive is more than enough. You go four-wheel drive, it'll go anywhere, even on road tyres. If I put off-roady type tyres, these are kind of a road version or an off-road tyre, if you know what I mean. But if I put proper off-road tyres, oh, it'll just eat up the mud like nobody's business. Anyway, with that, I'm going to go on a few tracks and trails before I need to get to work here today. But I'll catch you again. Ta-da!